Welcome to CT's podcast. I'm Deepa Mehra, your host for today. As a passionate yoga and meditation devotee with over a decade of experience, I have dedicated my life to helping people find balance and tranquility. Today, I'm excited to explore a connection between mindfulness and daily commutes with industry leaders. We will discuss how innovative ideas and digital tools in the transport industry reduce employee stress. About City offers managed mobility services to ease the burden on facility heads by managing non-core transport tasks. This service simplifies transport management, allowing facility heads to focus on their primary duties by handling all aspects of transport, and City ensures efficient and smooth commute, boosting productivity and satisfaction. So join us as we uncover how mindfulness transforms commuting experiences and enhances employees' mental health. Let's embark on this journey towards a more mindful and stress-free commute. So let's welcome Mr. Gopala Rathnam, an experienced seasonal professional currently helping startups raise funds, served and grown companies like Iopex Technologies, CSS Corp as one of the founding team member. Mr. Gopala, for our viewers and listeners, may I request you to give a brief introduction of yourself?
Okay, thank you, Deepa. I am what people would call a square peg in a round hole. I started off somewhere, I ended up somewhere. Basically, because of, I guess, the curiosity to learn new things and experiment, the entrepreneurial spirit to experiment. I did my education. I did a diploma in mechanical engineering with automobile specialization. By the time I got a job in Bank of India, that was the time in 1972. The Banking Service Recruitment Board was formed, and I was one of the first batch of recruits. So from engineering side, I went into banking because getting a bank job those days were very prestigious. So went there. To justify that, I did economics graduation and part-time. After that, in banking, I worked in various capacities in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, and all that. One of my first postings was in the capital markets department in the bank. Those days, 78, 79, that was the first market opening up and IT boom and all that. Not IT, IPO boom. So I have seen the first issue of IPO by Colgate Palmolive, Asian Paints, and all that. So we used to receive and process lakhs and lakhs of applications. Day and night we used to work, and that made us curious. What is happening? Why so many people are putting money in this thing? So we studied markets. We started applying, and even now I have the first brochures of Colgate and Asian Paints. Asian Paints came out with 180 rupees IPO at those these days. So that curiosity kept me going. So after some time, one of my colleagues, he joined ICICI Securities. He also was into managing share markets and stock in securities side. So he had an idea. At that time, Government of India started the first automated stock exchange. It was called OTCI, Over the Counter Exchange of India. So he said, I'm going to apply for a membership in the exchange. Would you like to join me? So I was looking for something else to do because I had completed 5 years of posting in Bihar and was looking to come out and do something. So I said, okay, I'm also interested. So we applied, we wrote an exam, and we got the dealership for Chennai. We started the first stockbroking firm. That was our first entrepreneurial venture. It was called Iopex Investments, and we were one of the leading stockbrokers on OTCI. So we were doing very well, pretty well. We were into expanding into Madras Stock Exchange, but unfortunately, that was the time of Arshad Mehta scam. So markets started falling, and we were caught unawares. So we sold off whatever we had and got out in a hurry, and by the time what we had done was we thought because it was an automated exchange, we had recruited some IT professionals to help us build a software to help us in trading. So while building that, this happened, and we decided to close down and make an exit from stock markets. So when we got out, we didn't know what to do. We had these professionals working for us in the software. So we thought, let's get into software, because those days, 2000, the millennium problem was there. Y2K problem, what they called, because the dates after 2000, the softwares will not work. So all the software throughout the world were being rewritten. So we got into that business. So that is how we got into software business. And slowly we felt that is going to end after 2000 happens. So we started doing software products, small products, tools, mailing list and all that, fax, automated fax. Slowly we expanded, and IBM had bought Lotus Notes, which was a leading software at that point of time. So we became specialists in that, and we coordinated with IBM to start CSS software, that is Cybernet Software Systems. So that was the first software development. How we differentiated was we were into product development, software product development for outsiders, and that needed us to provide support to the products that we developed. So we started another company called Slash Support, which provided automated support solutions to products, software products like Wi-Fi solutions and all that. That grew very well. We grew up to 5,000 employees, about 80 million top line. So Goldman Sachs invested in us. So we by the time we started another company called Ready Test Go for testing the products, autonomous testing. The Goldman had suggested that you are doing too many small things. Combine that, make it into a larger entity. That is how CSS Corp was born. So at some point of time, we had a difference of opinion with the investors, and we wanted to be conservative. They wanted to be aggressive. So they gave us an exit path. So we took the exit path. We started our own, the other organization now present Iopex Technologies. This we are more into latest cutting edge technologies like AI and advertising, mostly into automation of advertising for Google. The what called ad ops. We specialize in ad ops. So we started branches in US, UK, Singapore, and all that. Manila is one of our biggest operations. So that is the main core of what I was doing. All the other things that came as a matter of requirement for Iopex Technologies. This hotel business, it started because we were into 24/7 support. So we had about 3,000 employees coming in from different areas for different shifts. There were about 36 shifts in a day, depending on which geography we were supporting. So it was a nightmare bringing all the people to the office. We had 8 different offices also. We never had a big office. It was all small, this thing. So 8 different offices, 3,000 employees, 36 shifts. It was a nightmare of logistics. We had to provide food, we had to provide transport. So we thought we are in software business, why not automate all of this? So that is how this transportation we wrote for ourselves. The software was written for Iopex Technologies. So slowly we found by making use of this, we were able to save substantial amount of not only money, the time and efficiency increased. The absenteeism was drastically cut down. People used to say, my cab didn't come, I was waiting here. All those things were things of the past. It helped the business to succeed. So we started a kitchen to provide food to employees, because always wherever we contracted, there was always complaints about food. So we started our own food outlet. That was good. So we thought, why not commercialize it? Then we went into hotel industry. That is how we were going. And coming back to MTAP, we commercialized the software we built for transportation. As Mr. Sachin said, we made it into a SaaS offering. People could log in and different companies could use our software technology for their employee convenience. That the brand is SafeTrax. That's doing very well. We have other products also like Autologics, routing software, all those things, and Safe Bus for school bus transportation. All that is happening. This is how I got into this industry.
Absolutely wonderful, Mr. Rathnam. Thank you for that insightful introduction. You have a vast journey and impactful journey. It's really inspiring to hear about your extensive experience and your commitment to helping startups navigate the complexities of fundraising and growth, choosing technology industries. Your journey with various industries, technologies must have provided you with invaluable insights that you can now share with emerging entrepreneurs. As we dive deeper into today's discussion, I am particularly interested in how your experiences have shaped your approach to mentorship and what key strategies you believe are essential for choosing right technology in today's competition or right industry in a competitive landscape. So let's explore that. So before that, I would like to welcome our visionary and energetic co-founder and CEO, Mr. Sachin Agrawal. So Mr. Sachin, for our viewers and listeners, could you please share your quick introduction?
Yeah, thank you, Deepa. And thank you so much, Mr. Gopalan, for giving us time today. Happy to have this discussion with you on this podcast. So, a quick brief about me, rather on Consulttrans. So, this journey is as long as about 3 years. We started Consulttrans when companies were shutting down transport business, when the offices were shut and companies were planning to diversify to various other businesses. But we had a firm belief that transport is something which is very, very complex already. And once it opens up, it'll become all the more dynamic, all the more complex. Hence, it would need a professional companies like us to manage this better, right? So that was a belief, and that was the conviction that we had when we launched Consulttrans, and as we all see, you know, companies have more or less settled to about 50, 55, 60% of work from office. Everybody is talking about hybrid work culture, which is going to stay here. And we at Consulttrans are catering to that hybrid work culture needs as far as transport is concerned. So great, Mr. Gopal. An engineering graduate getting into software development, helping people getting investments, automation, and then finally into transport SaaS, right? So while I was listening to you, I didn't even hear even a single word about the engineering, your automation engineering. I thought you would have spent some initial years with some manufacturing automation manufacturing company, car manufacturer companies, but I didn't hear that. So very, very excited to understand from you this journey from the IT, starting with banking, then hotels, then IT, and then finally landed into SaaS for transport. So if you could just share more details, you've already touched upon it, but I would still want to understand more about this journey of last so many years.
Like I said, okay, banking gave me the Bank of India. I was with Bank of India for nearly 17 years. I would say that laid the foundation because they put me into various departments. I mean, as a policy, they keep changing every 3 years. We need to go to a new place, a new department. So that gives you a wider vision of the world, what is happening. So when I was in the advances department, I dealt with industrialists who were coming for advance to the bank, and they used to sit and I was on the other side of the table listening to them, what their problems were and what their plans for success were and how banks were helping them. So that gave me a vision of where things were going and how an industry functions basically. So once you know how to form a company, I mean, what are the responsibilities, there is that innate desire that you should also do something. Why, when so many people are doing so much, and why not we also try something new? And I was fortunate to have some friends who were of the same similar mindset. One, Mr. Kumar, who I mentioned, was with ICICI Securities. He was heading the textiles division, the textile industries division, and sugar industries division. So he was also, he is a visionary. Basically, he thought of things and we as a team executed basically. So sometimes it is where life takes us. Yes, some of the things were not planned. Like I said, the support, Slash support was one of our great success stories, but that was not a planned entry. We were doing products, like small products. Those days, we had GEMS 400, which was BSNL was the only supplier of bandwidth in those days. That they gave us about 10 Mbps, 12 Mbps connectivity after waiting for 3 months. So what we did was we wrote a small tool where this bandwidth can be used by multiple people within an organization, and you could use one postal address provided by BSNL into multiple postal addresses by adding a person's name. Our software will route it. The outside mail will come into one address, it will sort and route it to multiple people. So basically, automating an office was our first project. We wrote a chat tool, we wrote a mail tool. This was before Hotmail, basically. None of it commercially succeeded, but that gave us an insight into how product development works and what are all the support needs of large product developers. Like we had whoever manufactured routers, they needed support. Whoever manufactured working models, they needed support. So we wrote a knowledge-based tool where support was slowly automated. A support request comes in, our technician completes it and writes what was the problem, what was the solution, and the knowledge base keeps on expanding. So next time a similar request comes, it is more like AI. This happened in 2000. So now we call it as AI, but those days we call it as automated support, knowledge base, what it's called. And that was what brought IBM into our contact. IBM was looking for partners in India who had a solution like knowledge base to support the Lotus Notes division that they had taken over. So we started a training division in Lotus Notes, took fresh graduates, trained them in Lotus Notes, and made use of them to fulfill IBM's requirement. So IBM became a close partner, and that was our stepping stone to start with. And when Lotus Notes, IBM, when they took over, they had a requirement. All IBM websites had to be converted into Domino websites. And nobody in the world had that kind of manpower to get it done. We had a training division, and that gave us a legs up. So we started with training, we started observing them, then we started building websites. The other Lotus Notes users came to us, and slowly it grew into a larger services provider, basically. From product development, we became a services provider, and then support provider, then testing company. Then all of that joined together, and we learned how to market it also, basically. Marketing knowledge also came. Everything by experience, basically. And the times were right at those point of time. Competition was much less than it is today. So that is how it grew. And regarding transportation and food, I told you it was because catering to our own requirements, slowly when it succeeded, we commercialized.
Fantastic. So great wisdom, I think, and I'm sure you are an inspiration to a lot of people like us, who are starting up now and really have vision to make it big. So talking about transport, you actually entered the industry at the right time. if I recall, around 7 to 8 years ago. And that is a time when this industry was booming, right? Prior to that, I think it was more or less manual operations, right? And you were one of the few, startups who brought SaaS uh, in transportation. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts? How SaaS changed the game of transport?
Actually, from our company experience, I can tell you, it changed the game for every stakeholder involved in this transportation business, from fleet owners to drivers to employees to the companies. Everybody saw a change, positive change because of automation. In our own organization, as I told you, it was a complex organization that we built unwantedly. As I told you, 8 different offices, 3,000 different employees coming from 365 degrees and 36 different shifts. So we were completely dependent on fleet operators at that point of time. There was no automation. And some of the fleet operators were very good, and some of them were unscrupulous. So, and the employees also similarly. Some employees were dependable, some employees were not dependent. They were, along with the transport operator, they were playing hooky. So, a lot of, I can talk for a day about the problems that we faced in those days. Supposing I sent 4 people to say one location A from our office. They used to take it in one cab, drop them. But when billing comes, they will show that 4 people went by 4 different cabs. So we used to pay 4 times more for the same amount of transportation. There was no check and balance available. And people would get into the cab at their own leisure, and then they'll say cab was late. So the production used to suffer. We were at Slash support. During the support, there was also call center support. When customers call, you have to take the call immediately. So you miss one call, you miss revenue. So every 3-minute delay, we used to lose $1. When one cab comes late, 5 people come late, we lose $50. That was this thing. So it directly affected the profitability of the company. That is why we said, okay, we formed a team and said we are software people. We should be dependent on manual systems. So we started automating everything from cab arrival automation to cab leaving and driver tracking. In fact, we even started manufacturing a GPS box. Those days, GPS boxes were not easily available. 1 or 2 manufacturers, we had to import from China, and there was a lot of restrictions on that. So we tied up with one guy here and we manufactured our own GPS boxes. But of course, it didn't. In fact, that guy and us, we also experimented with small other things. We tied up with Chennai Corporation to fix GPS boxes in their garbage collection vans. So these vans were assigned certain routes and they had to go to certain garbage bins and pick up every day. These drivers, they never used to go, draw the diesel, sell it and sit at home. And weekly once they will go and collect. So there was garbage everywhere and corporation was being blamed. So they said, can you track whether our driver goes and stops there and picks up the garbage? That was one of the projects. These are all asides. So that gave us a lot of insight into how to track and how to. So we used all that, and our employee feedback was very important. Sometimes you say, a person will say, I'm standing at this particular point. Driver will say, I'm also in the same point, but they will say, I have not seen him. He has not come. He has not come. They'll be standing on different sides of the road. So these kind of problems, we found solution for each and every such simple things which were being ignored in the past. So that gave us, you won't believe, nearly $1 million per year we saved on transportation once we implemented. And that was the amount of money being lost because of inefficiency. So we thought, when we do this, when we can do this, what about larger companies than us? The lakhs of employees and how much they must be losing. Why not I mean, help them and also make a commercial profit out of it. So that is how we spun it off. And it has been a good reception, has been there, as you might be knowing. Then we spun off, went into school bus automation because school children need tracking, and parents need to know when the bus is coming so that they can go outside and pick up the children or leave them, whether the children has got into the bus, whether they've been dropped into the school. Sometimes children sleep in the bus and they don't get down when the bus reaches the school. So they have to get down and again swipe till it gives peace of mind to the parents. That is also another product which is doing pretty well. And at the same time, you also help people, so you feel good about it also.
That's nice. So I think you solved a big problem, transforming the manual operation to 100% automation, right from user registration or rostering by the respective user up to the billing. And the same was replicated to
We have even
also.
done it from the rostering also. The project rosters people based on the need of the client. And the need keeps changing based on this. Supposing it is Christmas time, a lot of Wi-Fi routers are being sold in the US. So they need more support after Christmas. So they say, suppose 100 people are providing support, they say next shift we want 200 people. So we should be able to roll over. So that employee scheduling is a major problem. So what we have done is we have built a software for scheduling based on the experience and the knowledge requirement. So and where we have brought in our little advancement is we are trying to schedule people from the same area, similar area, and the same route, so that the number of cabs used is lesser. Because if you schedule from multiple areas, multiple cabs have to go. So we tell the company, you tell me what is your requirement, what kind of people you want, what knowledge you want from, then we will schedule people from in the most optimized way. So we start from scheduling till billing. So it is end to end.
Correct. So as I hear, you solved one problem, one big problem, I would say. Never thought of clubbing this service with the vehicles as a whole package?
Actually, that's an interesting question. We have debated on this for a very long time, and we decided consciously never to get into vehicle providing. First and foremost reason is it is not our core competency. Logistics is a different ball game. So we don't want to go where we don't know what is happening. Number two is our core competency is software, and we wanted to stick to it. Number two is as you may be aware, there are some large companies which have the software who are also providing vehicles. But there is a larger portion of small transport operators who don't have the software. So we wanted to target these people, and they will not work with us if we provide our own vehicle. So we'll be cutting our own market. So we told everybody we are agnostic. We will never compete with you on the vehicle space. We will only provide you automation for your vehicles, and we'll help your customers to have confidence in you. But you will be able to provide the dashboard for what the company needs. We'll be able to provide. So it is a win-win for you. Even if you have 5 cabs, you can have the same level of automation which the 500 cab fellow has. So that has worked out well for us, and we will continue in that. We'll never get into logistics. That is our plan for the future.
Yeah, interesting. So, automobile engineer becoming a banker, becoming a hotelier, becoming a SaaS provider. I thought this was next, providing fleet and managing logistics as well. So that hence this question. Interesting. So, as you know, Mr. Gopala, we at Consulttrans, we've bundled the entire thing. When you talk about SaaS, you talk about vehicles and the team on ground.
Correct.
And we call it managed mobility. and we go to a corporate and we help them outsource this piece, right, to a company like us, while they can focus on their core jobs,
Correct.
right? Because for them, transport is a non-core activity, while we manage this non-core activity for them.
Correct.
And when they do that, they are able to definitely optimize, as you rightly said, by making best use of the technology. You are able to eliminate the wastages. So hence, some optimization on the cost front and better SLAs and better services, better CSAT, and you have happier employees, right?
It's
So
not only for
great.
IT. I will just like to add one more thing. A large company, I can take the name, a large company like MRF. MRF has got small depots all over India. They must be having about 112 depots, offices all over India. So their management people keep traveling all over India. So they go to a grade 2 city, they go to a grade 4 city, and they need transportation where they are going. And there, they are not able to pinpoint how much will be the transportation cost. So what we provided, we have built a software called Autologics. It is almost similar to what Ola, Uber does. I mean, you can book a cab, the driver can accept, then and the rate is pre-accepted. Like MRF can tie up with their vendors. Say, if our officers come, I'll put in a request, you accept, you take them, and this will be the rate per kilometer. That can be pre-negotiated, and it can be put in the server. And so when that fulfillment happens, the company is aware what will be the charges. The cab owner knows what will be the charges. There will be no audit request or any. So payment happens immediately. So cab fellow is happy, companies are happy, and there is an element of safety where only known and approved cab operators will provide the transportation. So some of the companies are using this because they want approved cab operators only to transport their employees. This is a
Excellent.
non-regular transportation I'm talking about.
Yeah, so as we know, there are two segments of it when we talk about a B2B space. So there is a regular transport, which we call it as an employee transportation,
Correct.
and this one is more or less like an ad hoc, usage or a
Direct to
dog.
consumer, yeah.
Yeah. So excellent. I think this is definitely after a regular employee commute. This is definitely is a need of our, and it is nothing but replicating what Ola or Uber does in B2C.
Yeah.
You have done this in B2B as well, right?
You have,
Great.
there is no cancellation and only non-cab operators, so more assured transportation for organizations.
B2B, you cannot talk about cancellations. You'll be out.
Out. True.
Great. Thanks for your insights, Mr. Gopala. It was very interesting discussion. I just loved interacting with you.
Thank you, Deepa.
Thank you so much, Sachin. One more question I would like to ask you. Before that, engaging with both of you is genuinely inspiring, and your dynamic leadership and knowledge sharing empower our viewers daily. Cultivating growth, discussed very minute things, which was very important for choosing technology, idea, skill, and insightful discussion in the ever evolving various industry as well as a transport industry. So thank you so much again. So as we wrap up, what powerful message would you like to leave our viewers and listeners with, one that can inspire and motivate them in their own journey?
From my experience, I can say what has stood me in good stead is being curious and being entrepreneurial ability to take risk. I would say the same thing to the youngsters. Be curious, always be ready to learn something new, never be afraid to experiment, and have that instead of searching for jobs, try to create jobs. That is my.
Okay. Thank you for your valuable insights and perspective which you shared with us. So we are sincerely grateful for your time, Mr. Gopala.
Thank you. Okay.
This wonderful conversation at CT We strive to offer value-based, hassle-free, and stress-free office commute services. We are sincerely grateful for you to have shared your experiences for a large enterprises. We would like to thank our viewers for their valuable time and listening to this podcast patiently. We look forward to see you in our next episode with more insights from CT on trends in employee transportation. Thank you so much.